Right. I was just thinking about earlier on today. I was. Oh God, is my audio working? Oh shit, probably isn't. Oh yeah. Oh, I better switch over to the other mic. Um. Um. Okay, so I best use the direct microphone because there's a huge lag on my phone. I don't know why, but um, right. So, what the hell's that box still doing up for? Right. Okay. So, for people watching my YouTube channel, I've got a whole bunch of stuff on my community tab there. Uh, not, yeah, that's the one. I'm probably in the wrong. Yeah, I'm in studio. I need to be in YouTube. YouTube studio. The studio part is where you can set everything up, right? Well, so in my post section on YouTube, I've been posting a whole bunch of stuff, but nobody seems to know about it. Or maybe they just haven't looked. I don't know. But one guy did look, and that was nice. He actually went and left me a nice comment yesterday. Um, so there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world right now, and I try to drive in a straight line. You know, I try to figure. I try to look left, look right. You know, look right again. You know, that's the way we grew up when we were children. We were taught the Green Cross Code. You know, about avoiding collisions with things. I suppose you can use that in analogy in life as well, right? So you're basically cruising through life, and you come across situations where people call you names. That's an insult. It's an attack against your personal perspective or view on how you see life, right? Because so yesterday I was trying to figure out what this bollocks is all about, right? Let me just make sure it's working. It probably is. So I was trying to figure out what else this bollocks means, right? um, and I was reading about it. No, this is in the United States. Oh, it looks like it. No, it's UK news, but it's United States perspective on an outside perspective on what is going on in our in our country, right? So I'm reading all this, and I'm trying to read this stuff. And to be honest with you, I've never been good with chess, right? There was a time back in the 70s when somebody tried to teach me. Sorry, I'm yawning. I'm just stretching. Somebody was trying to ask me, "Oh, do you play chess?" I said, "No." I said, "What do I want to play chess for?" That's sort of duality. It's conflict. It's all about beating your opponent. It's all about. It's basically an argument on a board game, or outsmarting somebody. It's like, oh, I'm better than you. I've got a better brain power than you. You're stupid. I'm smarter than you are, sort of thing. It's childish to me. I find it very childish, right? And I could never figure out. Yeah, somebody's out there that's going to say, well, that's what you would say if you can't play chess. Well, possibly, but at the same time, we all have our. Everybody is unique. Everybody has their gifts, right? Some people have special gifts in art. Some people have special gifts in mathematics. Some people have special gifts in construction and building buildings that don't fall over, right? It's interesting that we're living in a world right now where planes are falling out of the sky, trains are crashing everywhere left and right. Oh, here we go again, left and right. Because there's been so many rail crashes recently, and why is this happening? it's because we are moving into times of that movie, Idiocracy, where people can't seem to do their job right. And I'm not insulting anyone, I'm just saying that it's the education system that's falling apart. People aren't taught the way things work properly anymore, so people don't know how to fix things properly. If you don't know how to maintain the infrastructure, then the infrastructure is going to fall around your ears, basically. So I'm trying to drive straight and narrow to avoid all these buildings falling down. Yeah, that's the joke, by the way. Anyway, I thought I need to do some research. So I'm reading this stuff. And then it goes back into historical roots of far right. And I'm thinking, what the hell are they talking about? I was reading some of this yesterday, right? And it's all deep stuff. I don't understand it. I have no idea what the hell they're talking about. It's like chess to me. It's like chess, right? So when I talk to somebody about some concerns I have about basic stuff, very simple, very simple situations, like you kick a ball and it goes into the middle of the road. Well, what's going to happen? A child's going to run after the ball and probably get run over by a car. So I'm logistical, I'm logical. I think about the logical impacts of something simple, how it might affect people in real life, okay? So, when I see the little corner shop shut down, which I used to love when I was a kid, because one of the stories I like to tell you is that when I was about 8 years old, I saved up all my pocket money. For weeks I saved up my pocket money, and we're talking about sixpence, right? Back then, back in the 1960s, you could buy a gigantic bottle of lemonade for something like 2 shillings. And I went to this, I saved up my pocket money when I was a child until I had enough money to buy a big bottle of lemonade, because at the time I had this thing about, I want to be able to buy something myself. My mum and dad are always buying things and bringing things in the house, and I really want to buy something for myself, you know, sort of thing. You feel like you see mummy and daddy going out and buying things, and you think, oh, that's so cool. How would you do that, you know, from the childish perspective? And then you save your money up. And I went to this little tiny corner shop in a village where I used to live. And I went to see the man who was working behind the counter. We're not talking about modern day corporate shops that don't want to know you. We're talking about mama and papa shops. People who had compassion and love for their community. And I went into this little corner shop and I said, can I have this bottle of lemonade? And the man behind the counter said, how much money do you have on you, son? Sort of thing. And I'd put all my saved up sixpences on the counter, and he said, oh, you've got enough here for that. Yes, that's fine. So I was so proud that I was able to buy my first bottle, my first thing from this little mama papa shop. I was so happy that, and I was holding this giant bottle of lemonade in my arms, because it was so heavy, it was so big, and I cuddled it, and I was holding onto it, and it was a glass bowl, not what you get now where it's all plastic. It was a glass bowl, and he was very compassionate and very caring towards me, and I do remember that because it was such an impact on me that day. It was a huge impact on me what happened. That's why I remember it. So he actually opened the door for me. He said, "Are you going to be all right? Are you managing that okay?" and all that. They didn't give us carrier bags back then. They didn't provide us with carrier bags. They would put things in in sweetie bags. They would put sweets and things in paper bags. You didn't see plastic bags around then. You could buy a cloth bag for your shopping, but they weren't readily available over the counter. You didn't just walk in and buy something and they put it in a big, proper carry holder bag type thing, So I goes out the shop and I gets outside, and guess what? The bottle slipped. I don't know if it was condensation on the bottle. Probably was, because it fell on the floor and it smashed, and my lemonade that I'd saved up weeks and weeks to buy was all over the footpath outside. And guess what? I was crying. I was sad. I was so upset that I dropped my lemonade. And I went back into the shop and I'm sad. It broke. I dropped my lemonade. And you know what? The man behind the counter says, "Don't worry about it. Here's another one." You don't see that anymore. What have we lost? So he gave me another one. I held on to that bottle like it was life and death. I held it underneath. He told me, "Hold it underneath, put your arm and hand underneath the bottle, support the weight," and I did, and hold it by the top, and I did, and I carried that home, and it was one of the greatest moments in my life because I was a child, and that man was so kind. And I took that all the way home. And my mum said to me, "Did you buy that?" I said, "Yeah, I used my pocket money." "I'm surprised you managed to get that home in one piece." I said, "Well, I actually broke the first one." And now, what have we got in our society? We have this horrible feeling of division, where you can't say anything without being attacked, without selfish perspective being thrown at you, calling you names. And if you drop your ball, symbolically speaking, if you drop your ball, or if you have an accident, you say something and it offends somebody else, there is no forgiveness, there is no compassion anymore. It's selfishness. We've got this social fragmentation. Everything's broken. So it's no longer just my lemonade bottle that's broken. Society itself is broken. Everything is broken. This country that I grew up in and I used to love is broken. And you can't talk about it. You can't talk about it because you get called names like far right, far left. You can't talk about it. What kind of a country is that when you can't talk openly about your feelings anymore? Are we all living in a prison suddenly? So it doesn't matter that I don't understand all this bullshit, because it is all bullshit. All this is about dividing people. It's about separation. A great big open chasm between people on one side and people on the other side, and they've forgotten what was in the middle. They have forgotten who they are. We all live on the same frigging planet, and if people don't help one another, they end up destroying one another.